Morning Botai, Erev Shabbat Shalom. We've been speaking about the past few days, being chozer b'tshuva for certain kinds of avonot. Rabbanim, poskim, can sometimes make mistakes in the psikat halacha, ruling halacha for other people. What is the proper teshuva process for issuing a mistaken halachic ruling? There are some poskim that say that if a Rav issues a mistaken ruling, he doesn't have to be chozer b'tshuva, he does not have to placate the wronged party. We're talking about a situation where, let's say, he gives a mistaken ruling that ends up causing a financial loss to somebody else. For instance, let's say something was really kasher, and the Rav said, no, it's not kasher, it's tarif, the person had to throw it out. Or, let's say, there was a din Torah, and the Rav, it wasn't something with shikul adat, he made a mistake, mamash, with something that was clear, and he said, you're chayav, you have to pay. As a result of his mistake in halacha, that caused another person a financial loss. So some poskim say, he doesn't need to ask for mechila from the people. Nevertheless, Maran Zechron Bracha in Chazon Ovadia Yamim Noraim says that's a mistake, it's incorrect. Of course he has to be chozer b'tshuva, and of course he has to ask for mechila and appease the wronged party. He quotes the Mishnah in Pirkei Avot. The Mishnah says, "Heveh zahir b'talmud sheshigigat talmud ola zadon." Be careful how you learn, because when you're learning and you're teaching and you're paskening halacha, the shigiga, even though you made a mistake, in Shamayim it's considered you did it on purpose. So Rabbanim have to be very, very careful, especially nowadays, not to shoot from the hip. If there's a halacha that needs shikul da'at, so sometimes if you don't know, say you don't know. And even if you do know, look into it, analyze, learn it well in order not to issue a mistaken ruling, because then you have to go over to the person and offer him money for the mistake that you did to repay him for the mistake ba'alacha. It's known, there's a famous story with the governor Tzvi Pesach Frank. He was the Av Bedin of Yerushalayim. When poor people, in those times, they didn't have kasher chickens with hashgachot on it, whatever. They used to buy live chickens. The shochet used to come and slaughter. And then sometimes there were sfekot, there were questions that arose in the chicken after the shchita. So they used to come to the Rav Frank, and they used to ask him a question. Rav Frank tried as much as he could to be mekel, especially when they were poor people. But sometimes he was notel le'achmir. Sometimes it looked not so good, and he ruled stringently because that's the way it looked. It looked like a trefa. But anytime he was notel le'achmir, because he didn't chas v'shalom want to cause a financial loss, he paid the person who brought the chicken the entire value of the chicken. The aniyim started speaking among themselves, the poor people, and then all the people of Yerushalayim started bringing their chickens to Rav Frank because they knew they would never leave with the loss. Either the chicken would be kasher, and if not, he'd pay them. So that's how they all showed up at his doorstep. You see, that's how a real Gadol B'Yisrael works. You have to try to be mekel, but if you can't, be careful, so as not to chas v'shalom cause somebody a financial loss. Have a wonderful day and Shabbat Shalom.